Hey everybody, welcome back to a very, very special edition of Drunken Food with Puddin. I know we've been on a little hiatus for about 6 weeks, hell, maybe 2 months, and that's because of, well, a lot of stupid shit. You know, the fucking election happened, and that was just horrendous shit show. On top of that, almost everybody on the crew and friends caught the corona. Shit happens. I lived through it. They kind of did. Yeah, my cameraman's shaking his head. He didn't get corona. I think he's immune, but I think it's because he's got a chromosome that's wrong, if you know what I mean. Anyhow, I do want to say we have a special guest on this episode. My good buddy Chase McCollum, his father Matt. He's going to be helping us out this fine meal. He's going to fry up some potatoes for us. We have a plethora of food. We have good old ham steaks. We got bacon. We got pork steak. We got sausage for biscuits and gravy. We're going to do some scrambled eggs. And as I said, Matt's going to help us out. He's going to fry up some potatoes, show us how to make the best fried potatoes in the world, or at least in this house. So, I want to just say that this episode is brought to you by Old Milwaukee Light Beer, a favorite of my partner chef here. Not partner in a gay way, just partner. Also, to go along with this pork on pork crime, you got some Whistle Pig rye whiskey. It's 96 proof. I've only had just a little bit of it. Just opened the bottle today. It seems all right. It was a little bit more on the pricey side, about $50. But anyway, stay with us, and we're gonna wrap everything. We're gonna get everything going here, get in the swing of things, and as always, everybody, stay hydrated.
Yeah.
I got a couple dozen eggs on the hook with some heavy cream. Alright, my fine folks of the Drunken community. We're going to give you just a little bit of an update here. We got Matt behind me. He's frying up. We got about 3 pounds of bacon, give or take 3.5 pounds. He's about halfway through getting that going. I've got the sausage for the biscuits and gravy already cooked up. We're going to be making the gravy here shortly. We're going to get the grill going, and we're going to put some ham steaks on there. We've got about 5 pounds of pork steak that I already mentioned, give or take 4 or 5 pounds. And for the seasoning on that, just something pretty traditional. Salt, pepper, some garlic. But we also have this from Rustic Cuts as well. I actually forgot that this is from them, but Rustic Cuts Kentucky Bourbon Barbecue Rub. It's a little sweet, but it goes great, especially with like pork steaks, things like that. I really enjoy it. Anyhow, where's my beverage? We'll be back with you guys here shortly. There's not too much shit to talk about right now, but once we kind of bring some things more together, we'll get back with you. So stay tuned and stay hydrated once again. All right, folks. Now, as you can see, got all the bacon cooked up, and we saved that grease because, obviously, the master fryer that Matt is, which he is, he needs that for the potatoes. So he's got a whole bunch of bacon grease in there. He's got some pepper going. He's got some salt, all that kind of good stuff. I've got some pork steaks on the grill. I already told you how I season those up, and the ham steaks as well. We got those going. So anyhow, I'm gonna tell you. Look at that, just fucking perfect magicness, isn't it? It's like cast iron. It's the way to go. It's the only way to go, folks. Let me tell you something. Hold on here. Say two
only way to go.
All right, now we're using my cast iron right now to cook up. Now this is Matt's cast iron. Now mine's pretty good, it's smooth, but this thing, I know you can't see it, but I'm gonna let you know. This is literally like glass. Like there is no drag, no nothing on this thing. Matt, do you know how old this thing might be?
I don't know. It's very, very, very old. It was my wife's grandma's.
So I mean, realistically, we're looking at probably 100 years old. If it's his wife's grandma's, then this thing is like glass, just ridiculous. But we haven't had to use it yet, just because it's a great skillet, just not quite big enough for the output we're wanting to put out for you fine fucking folks.
Yeah.
So, but no, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Well, this is how cast iron should be. smooth as silk, and just like an ice skating rink.
Now,
I tell you what, we've been chatting about all kinds of stuff this fine evening. It's varied from, I think, a little bit about maybe about baseball to the Vietnam War, World War II, Civil War, all kinds of good shit. And it all comes down to one point. Hitler, you're a cocksucker. Just saying. Oh yeah, you too, Putin. You suck too. I can't forget. Hold on, I can't forget. Hey, Hillary, you suck as well. We're gonna get back to cooking. We'll get back to you fine folks here just directly. Stay tuned. Alright folks, we are back for an update of Drunken Food. And as I've said previously, I've got some pork steak, some ham steak on the grill. They're both about done, so we're going to be bringing those in shortly. Now right now, we got Matt frying up some famous potatoes. So he cooks great potatoes from what I understand. Never had them, but we're going to see. And obviously his secret to the beginning, which should be a beginning to everything, is fucking bacon grease. So we got, what, 3.5, 4 pounds of bacon fried up. He left the grease in there, of course. You got the potatoes fried. They're going on being fried, you know what I mean. So anyhow, we're going to let him talk just for a second or two, maybe up to a minute, 3 minutes, who knows. And we're going to let him walk you through the process. So Matt, go and continue if you would.
so I like to use the bacon grease. The more the better. You can't get too much of it. Of course, it's naturally salted. Throw your potatoes in hot grease so they don't stick to the bottom of your skillet. You got to have it hot. That's the way I do it. I don't know how anybody else does it, that's the way I do it. Put your salt, your pepper, seasoned salt, whatever you want to do on there. Don't get in a hurry. Don't overwork them. Don't bust them up. You don't want mashed potatoes when you get down here. Just let them fry. You're not going to hurt them. I let mine fry till they're about half done, then I throw my onions in. That's the way I do it. You can throw your green peppers in, however you want to do, but just don't make work out of this. Have fun doing it. It's what it's all about. It's not a big deal. Just fry them low and slow and just have a good time doing it.
And folks, that is a fucking Drunken Food fact. Stay tuned for updates. Alright folks, now we are back in full-fledged action here. As you can see, we have the first round of the gravy already starting to thick very heavy. Now, with the sausage cooked off to the side of all that grease, you want to use roughly, it's hard to measure with gravy, it really is. So gravy, you want to do just enough flour to make it a paste, so to speak. So after that though, when you add your first initial batch of milk, you want to use vitamin D whole milk. You do not want to use fucking fat-free skim, any of that stupid shit. Not even 2%. You want to use the good shit. High calorie, high cream, high fat content. Now here's the deal. When you do this, after you get your enough flour in there to make your grease kind of like a paste, okay? When you do that, you damn near don't want to stop. You can stop maybe just for probably half a minute or so, maybe a minute to kind of get yourself, kind of switch hands, you know, have a beverage, so to speak. But overall, you don't want to stop. You want to add your heat, not quite on low, but on high, about a low to medium heat. It's going to take time. Gravy, I think you kind of mentioned something like this before. Gravy is like that gal you're sweet on, right? Okay. To make it beautiful, and to make it beautiful between you and her, it takes a little time. You got to use your hands a lot. Gotta use some grease, you know, some things of that nature. But I tell you what, when it comes time, it's gonna thicken up and be beautiful. And there's nothing wrong with a thick woman, I love them.
When you get her good and slick and wet, that's when she's ready.
Spoken by a true gentleman chef. Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome.
And just as he says, like I said, about low to medium fucking heat. You do not want to cook the cocksucker on high though, because then it'll burn. So you want it a low to medium. See, I know you probably can't see through the camera, but if you can, we have them bubbles going through. That's obviously it's cooking. That's cooking out all the stuff. I will say this though, before you kind of add your milk to it, you do want to wait maybe a minute, up to 2 or 3 minutes. You want to cook that flour taste out of it. The flour with that grease acts obviously as the roux, a thickening agent. But you gotta cook it long enough to get that flour taste. You can't just throw some fucking flour in there, mix it up, and 2 seconds later throw milk in there. You want to go a couple minutes, and just like so, we got a long ways to go. As you can see, we're going to use roughly probably 2/3 to 3/4 of a gallon of milk. It's gonna be well. It's gonna be a process, I promise you. But it's gonna turn out amazing because we're gonna add the sausage at the end. It's just gonna be terrific. And personally, so I'm no expert, but when I make gravy, salt and pepper. I don't add any silly, stupid, fancy bullshit. Salt and pepper. And when it comes to measurements of that, for this recipe, 3 punches of pepper, a lot of fucking pepper, and 1 punch of salt because your fucking your sausage is already saltier than a motherfucker. So just a little bit of salt, a ton of pepper. Anyhow, stay tuned, and when you come back, we might have a little bit of video magic for you, and we might have this son of a bitch damn near perfectly tightened up.
We got some fried taters stuff.
And we got some fried taters getting ready to come on in here just shortly. I think Matt's throwing in, he's got some butter on them cocksuckers. He flipped them once, I think. Did you flip them yet, Matt?
Yeah, we're going to do, I flipped them here once. We're going to get them some browning. We're going to put some onions in there here shortly. And
Fucking perfect, boys.
we're going to...
Pan over there if you could, Josh. I know it's kind of
We're in ready.
Pan over there if you can, though, would you?
Right here, I've used a full stick of butter. Put a half of butter on early, half of butter on about halfway through, and let them go. We're going to throw the onions on here shortly, and we're going to have absolutely perfect fried potatoes here shortly.
Alright, folks, now we have the gravy pretty much complete. We have the fried potatoes squared away, good to go. Bacon, pork steak, all that just ready to eat. But we're going to do the scrambled eggs now, and they do take a little time. You want that low, slow, maybe medium. And I don't know the measurements, I don't. But when you do some scrambled eggs, you want to whip them up really good, and then throw in some half and half. Maybe a little heavy cream if you have it.
Yeah.
And just go with it. Just like I am right now. I'm actually at 6, so that's medium. Medium high heat. And just keep letting her go. It's gonna make them fluffy, kind of velvety. More velvety than fluffy, but it's just gonna go with it. Here pretty soon we're gonna put a plate together. I'm going to show you fine folks what Drunken Food is all about. I'll tell you what, that's why I will say this much. Cast iron is the way to go. So far tonight we've cooked 3.5 pounds of bacon, 6 pounds of potatoes give or take, and we got 2 dozen eggs with some half and half worth of cream in there. We can let that go. So anyhow, stay tuned, and when you come up, we're going to have that final plate for you here just shortly. So, with the magic of video editing, I'm going to snap the fingers, and when you come back, we'll have something close to the final bite. So, alright folks, on this special edition, as I mentioned before, we got some bacon, fried potatoes, fried ham steak, scrambled eggs, some biscuits and gravy. And I want to give a shout out to some of my good buddies, lady friend, Chrissy Van Houten. It is her birthday. Give a special shout out to her. She probably turned 34, 35, 36, something in that fucking nature.
Probably
Chase Houten.
28, but happy birthday, Chrissy.
Happy birthday, Chrissy. Alright, so we got Matt, my assistant slash badass cook. He's more of a partner than an assistant. Anyhow, we have got stuff squared away. I'm going to try a little bite of the biscuits and gravy anyhow. And we're going to see how she goes. Maybe. Fuck me, maybe. Hold on, give me 2 seconds, people.
Put her down.
Yep.
Dig in.
Cut in that son of a bitch. Alright, anyhow, alright. So then we need what we needed to do. We have all kinds of delicious food. We get the shout out to my buddy's old lady Chrissy, great woman, Chrissy Van Houten, and her future father-in-law, Matt McCollum here. Anyhow, so this is a, well, you'll get married to her someday, I imagine, if she don't fuck it up. If she don't. But anyhow, alright. This is another episode of Drunken Food with Puddin. And enjoy. Pretty fucking good, as usual.
Yeah.
And we're out, folks.